Who wouldn't want to be a royal? For the outside looking in, the life of a royal seems perfect, doesn't it? Wealth, property, and never having to worry about work or earning a living. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But all is not as rosy as it appears. Royals too have certain lines that they cannot cross, and in fact, the rules they have are often enforced on them to a higher standard than most regular people have to deal with. And this is not just for the adults. It starts right when they are children. In this video, we will look at 25 strict rules that the royal children have to follow. But before we get to that, if you're new here and like content like this, consider subscribing to our channel so you never miss out on another video. All done? Alright, let's get started. 1. They must follow royal etiquette. Can you imagine being a child and not being able to goof around and create trouble as all children do? Well, for royal children, this is a reality. When we were children, we had no idea how to behave in a polite or regal manner at all. But according to royal expert Micah Meir, etiquette training for the royals starts as soon as they're old enough to sit at a table. From a young age, they are taught how to behave appropriately, attend formal events, maintain their levels of voice, dress appropriately, and of course, how to bow and curtsy. This feels to us almost as if they are having their childhood taken away. 2. They must attend royal events. When you were a child, did your parents leave you at home with a babysitter when they had to go to an event with other adults or something more official? Well, for the royal children, this is not an option. Being born as a royal means their presence is mandatory at every royal event where the rest of their family is present. And due to the royal nature of these events, they are usually extremely high profile and covered by the media and swarmed by the public. With so much attention on them from such a young age, it's no wonder that these children are taught proper etiquette so that they can put forth a positive representation of their family. 3. They must be baptized. The head of the royal family is also the head of the Church of England, so anyone who is related to them has certain responsibilities as the relatives of the Holy Monarch. Even Meghan Markle, who married into the royal family, had to be anointed by a priest before her marriage to Harry could be officially announced. As for the children born into the royal family, they're usually baptized a few months after their birth, and this is a mandatory requirement and cannot be avoided. Talk about a lack of choice. 4. They can't travel with their siblings and often their parents as well. This is a rule that has been passed down since ancient times, where the ruler and successive heirs were not allowed to travel together in case of an attack or some sort of accident, which could wipe out the entire line of succession at once. In the present day, this rule is often applied when the royal family flies somewhere together. Imagine going on your first ever flight, and you are not allowed to accompany your family. How scared would you be? However, in modern times, this rule has been relaxed slightly ever since Diana refused to part with the baby Prince Philip when she and Charles were still married and were going on an official trip together. 5. They learn a second language. While this is not an official rule in itself, it is something expected of the royal children. Royals are expected to be cultured and worldly, and a part of this is being exposed to other cultures. Royals are often expected to start learning a second language as early as 8 years of age. It has been reported that Prince George, William's youngest son, has French and Spanish as a key part of his curriculum in his school at only 8 years old. While French was the second language of choice for most royals in the past, in the present day it has become Spanish, with that being a more used and relevant language in the world today. 6. No black outfits in the day. In the UK and the Western world in general, it's a common tradition that wearing black clothes usually signifies that someone has died, and the person wearing the clothes is in mourning because of this. Due to this, some people also believe that wearing black can be a marker of bad luck, especially at happy occasions, such as holidays and weddings. The royals take this to the next level though, as both the children and the adults are not allowed to wear black clothing at any daylight events. This rule may seem to bizarre you if you're not from a culture who follows this tradition, but in Britain it is seen as normal. 7. They must always have a black outfit ready. Funnily enough though, even though they are not allowed to wear black for daylight events, the royals are expected to always have a black formal outfit at the ready, even when traveling. This is because royals, even the children, are always expected to be ready for an unforeseen royal death, in which case they must don their mourning attire so they can present themselves appropriately to the public. I wonder if any of the royal children have ever asked why they always have a black outfit, which they are not allowed to wear. What do you think they would be told? 8. Boys have to wear shorts. This one is a bit dated, but it still exists even today. Since ancient times, pants were seen as clothes of the commoners, while trousers were worn by the aristocracy. Due to this, even today, royal boys have to wear shorts until they reach an appropriate age where they can graduate, so to speak, to wearing trousers. While this may seem unbelievable to you, it is very much a reality. According to William Hanson, a royal etiquette expert, the usual custom is that a boy graduates to trousers around 8 years old. If you follow the modern royals, you will notice that Prince George, who only turned 9 quite recently, only just started wearing trousers out to formal events. Hopefully, they can move past this rule soon, as we're sure you agree with us that it is quite silly. 9. Girls have to wear dresses. Just like the boys traditionally have to wear shorts as their form of appropriate attire, royal girls are expected to wear dresses that are similar in style to the dresses worn by the older women in the royal family. Thankfully, this rule is not as strict in the present as it used to be in the past, which is good for the young royals as they get to express some sort of freedom at least. However, it is still common to see the young Prince Charlotte wearing dresses most of the time. Let's hope this rule is removed completely soon. 10. Siblings match their outfits. This one is more an unwritten rule than an actual one, but it's been noticed that royal siblings, when they are children, are often dressed in matching outfits or similar styles. This is done so they can present themselves as a united front to the public, and in this case, we are not complaining, because it certainly is cute to see. 11. Their birth must be announced. It won't surprise you to know that royal children have to follow protocol, even at the moment of their birth. While they play no role in this rule, it is tradition that when a new royal is born, their birth is announced immediately to the public. This is done through a sign that is displayed outside of the Buckingham Palace gates, which will have the gender and the time of birth of the new child. 12. They have to wear the Honiton christening gown. What is this tradition, you ask? Well, the Honiton christening gown was first commissioned by Queen Victoria for the christening of her first child, and since then has been worn by every single new member of the royal family when they are born. The latest to do so was Prince Harry and Meghan's son Archie. However, he wore a replica of the original, as the actual garment is now too fragile to be used after so many years. 13. They get a passport immediately. Most babies do not have to travel internationally immediately after their birth, so they often get a passport once they are a bit older. However, this is not the case for royals, as they have to be ready to travel internationally at any moment. This is why they're issued a passport as soon as they are born. 14. They learn the royal wave. One of the most iconic gestures associated with the royal family is the Windsor wave. The Windsor wave is a sort of subdued waving of the hand that is simultaneously courteous, but also restrained and does not show off too much excitement, as the royals like to display an air of calm and nonchalance. The royal children, as part of their etiquette training, learn this gesture at quite an early age. In fact, both Prince George and Princess Charlotte have learned how to do the wave before they were 5 years old. Whether it was from watching their parents or from their training, it certainly is adorable to see the young royals waving to the public. 15. They don't eat baby food. Most of us grew up on baby food from cans and packets and turned out just fine. But the royals are the royals, so why would they eat packaged food, even as babies, when they have an entire kitchen full of private chefs at their disposal? The royal children grow up eating food prepared specially for them in the royal kitchens. In fact, former royal chef Darren McGrady revealed that he cooked some of the first ever meals eaten by both Prince William and Prince Harry when they were little, and these consisted of steamed apples and pears. 16. They cannot eat shellfish. This one may sound a bit strange, but it actually has a reasonable explanation. The royal children have their diet closely monitored to make sure they are healthy, and shellfish is one of the most common foods that causes food poisoning at a high rate. Most children don't seem to care for seafood much anyway, so we're sure they don't really mind this one. 17. They have to attend school. While you must be thinking, well, don't most children have to attend school? And yes, you would be right. But the royals going to school is still a fairly recent development. Prior to Prince Charles, all the royals, including the late Queen Elizabeth herself, were educated by private tutors. However, from Charles onwards, it was decided that royal children would have to attend official schools just like most other children, so they gained an understanding of the people around them and the country they would one day rule. This rule actually makes sense and is probably for the best. The last thing you want is a stuck-up royal. 18. They have to be a part of royal weddings. As the royal children are the youngest and cutest members of the royal family, they are expected to be a big part of any royal weddings that take place. They are usually charged with being the page boys and flower girls at these events, and it certainly is an adorable sight to behold. Most recently, at Harry and Meghan's wedding, it was Prince George and Princess Charlotte who stole the show in their roles as page boy and flower girl. 19. They are also expected to serve in the military. This rule is only for the boys, but per tradition, men of the royal family are expected to serve in the military at some point in their life. This is done to teach the boys values, so they learn how to work with others. King Charles was in the Navy, as was his father, while Prince William opted to join the Air Force and Prince Harry served in the Army. 20. Unmarried royals cannot wear tiaras. This rule is only applicable to girls, but it's important, because when we think of princesses, we think of tiaras. But as per the royal rules, tiaras are only allowed to be worn by married royals. This rule is quite sad, because just think of how cute Prince Charlotte would look like in a tiara. 21. They have to be a certain age to join the royal Christmas service. The Christmas church service is an official affair for the royals, where they are expected to display some form of decorum as they will be among the public. This is why until the young royals are of a certain age where they can be expected to behave, they do not join the rest of the family for the Christmas service. Prince George and Prince Charlotte attended the service for the first time in 2019. 22. They cannot open any presents on Christmas Day. The royal family follows the German tradition of opening presents on Christmas Eve, because they attend the already mentioned Christmas service at the Mary Magdalene Church on Christmas Day. This means that the royal children cannot open any gifts on Christmas Day, even if they want to. However, we're sure they don't mind, as they get all the gifts the night before itself. 23. They are not allowed to play a Monopoly. This rule doesn't only apply to the children, but to the entire royal family. Apparently, it used to be played, but some of the royals got too competitive, and the late Queen Elizabeth permanently banned the game. We certainly get this, because everyone knows Monopoly definitely can cause you to lose your cool. Luckily for the royals, they already own the entire UK, so they don't really need fictional properties to play with. 24. They are supposed to be impartial. It is well known that the royal family is meant to be impartial on all political matters and not get involved or try to influence them in any way. This rule is applicable to the children as well, though we hardly think it should be. It's not like a toddler is going to have many options on political matters in any case. However, this neutrality is trained into them at a very early age. 25. They must listen to the royal nannies and security. The safety of the young royals is always the first priority, so the young royals are expected to obey their nannies and security without question. This is also good because it teaches them humility and how to respect authority at a young age. They may be royals, but they are still children, and they need to learn how to be good people. What did you think of these rules? Are they too much to expect from children, or do they make sense to you? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you liked the video, smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy content like this, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.